Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Sunday, September 11th, 2022. And giving you our parlay picks, match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 360 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Our first parlay pick is Washington Commanders vs Jacksonville. Under 44 points. Don't expect a shootout here. For a few reasons, I'm going with the under. Wentz is in his first year in a new system, and he didn't look all that great last year, even in a system he had plenty of familiarity with. The last time we saw Wentz play meaningful football, he was in the middle of a full-on implosion against the same Jaguars defense. In a pivotal Week 17 matchup last year, Wentz put up only 185 yards while leading the Colts to just 11 points against Jacksonville. He also took 6 sacks in that game, and the Jags have only gotten better on that side of the ball since then. They added first overall pick Travon Walker this offseason, and they've got an underrated secondary with guys like Tyson Campbell and free agent signee Darius Williams. Washington's strength is still their defense, and Ron Rivera is going to attempt to win this one with his stop unit. Our second parlay pick is Carolina Panthers vs Cleveland Browns. Browns plus 2.5 points. The Baker Mayfield Bowl gets the NFL season started for the Panthers and Browns on Sunday, and the quarterback's former team that appears a solid choice as an underdog visiting Carolina. This game will not decide either way whether the Browns were right to move on from Mayfield after 4 up-and-down seasons in which he led them to their first playoff win since 1994, but had an overall 30-31 record as a starter. That assessment won't be able to be made until the end of the season at least, as the player the Browns decided was an upgrade, Deshaun Watson, will be suspended for the first 11 games of the season. What we have now is a situation where the Panthers may have the good version of Baker starting for them, the one that was not seen often during his injury-hit 2021 campaign, while the Browns are giving a first start to Jacoby Brissett, who has had limited time on the field with his new offense in preseason. Confidence is rising in Carolina after their 5-12 campaign last year, not least because star running back Christian McCaffrey is healthy again. The Carolina Panthers come into the regular season following their best preseason game of the summer after a 21-0 win over the Buffalo Bills. Defensively, Carolina controlled the game, holding Buffalo to no points on 191 total yards and forced 1 turnover in the game. The Carolina offense moved well, totaling 238 yards, including 188 through the air. New quarterback Baker Mayfield led the show for Carolina, completing 9-15 passes for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns, while the other 2 quarterbacks in the game completed 13 of 21 passes for 99 yards as well. Shi Smith led the way for Carolina with 32 yards and 1 score on 3 catches. Even so, the remainder of the Browns and Panthers rosters tilts the balance of the game towards the road team. The Browns have units that rank among the best in the league at running back, with Nick Chubb leading the charge on their offensive line and in a super talented secondary. They won't be lacking in motivation, and it will be interesting to see how Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney get on in their pursuit of Mayfield. Putting your trust in Brissett to deliver a victory might not be for everyone, but the good news for Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski is that he doesn't have to, and he has a great chance to lean on his running game and defense to beat Carolina. Our third parlay pick is Cincinnati Bengals vs Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers plus 6.5 points. One of the marquee matchups of Week 1 in the 2022 campaign pits the Pittsburgh Steelers against the AFC North rival Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday afternoon at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. The Bengals famously made a surprise run to the Super Bowl last season, but don't forget that the Steelers did well to make the playoffs. Pittsburgh did so even though Ben Roethlisberger was still under center despite being a shadow of his former self. It is true that Mitchell Trubisky is nothing special, but Trubisky in his prime is still an upgrade over a 39-year-old Roethlisberger. Moreover, Trubisky has weapons at his disposal like Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Pat Freiermuth and Najee Harris. The Steelers even added George Pickens via the draft to add to their wide receiver core. The former North Carolina has every reason to be a serviceable quarterback in Pittsburgh. The Bengals surprised the football world last season with a near fairy tale season that ended up a failed 4th down conversion from a possible Super Bowl title. quarterback Joe Burrow, in just his second season, led the Bengals to a 10-7 record and then wins over the Raiders, Titans and Chiefs on the way to the Super Bowl. Of course, being the Bengals, things that can go wrong still seem to go wrong on occasion. Burrow's appendix burst during training camp and he is just now getting back to his playing weight as the regular season looms. When healthy, however, Burrow is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL and has a boatload of weapons to choose from. Reigning NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year Ja'Marr Chase is back at wide receiver as he quickly vaults up the charts as one of the league's premier wide receivers. He is teamed with another 1,000-yard receiver in T. Higgins to give the Bengals one of the best 1-2 punches in the NFL. At running back, Cincinnati has veteran Joe Mixon. Mixon had his best season in 2021 with career highs in rushing yards, receiving yards, total yards and touchdowns. Bengals coach Zach Taylor will hope for more consistency from his offensive line this season, something they did show late in the playoffs last season. Trubisky will certainly have offensive weapons at his disposal when he takes the field on Sunday in Cincinnati. The Steelers boast a top-flight running back in Najee Harris, as well as a talented receiving core led by Pro Bowler Deontay Johnson, along with Chase Claypool and rookie wideout George Pickens, who has turned heads in camp. The offense should be much more high-octane this season after spending a season playing with a clearly diminished Roethlisberger, throwing short 3- to 5-yard passes down the field. The key to success will be the Steelers' offensive line and their ability to keep Trubisky upright. Cincinnati should be a good team in 2022, but its price is inflated because of last season's AFC title, and it's never easy, especially in the early stages of going from the hunter to the hunted. Pittsburgh's 3-4 defense will be led up front by ends Cameron Hayward and Larry Ogunjobi, while the nose tackle is Tyson Alualu. The strength of the defense is the linebacker core with TJ Watt, Devin Bush, Miles Jack and Alex Highsmith. Pittsburgh also has a strong secondary with safeties Terrell Edmunds and Minkah Fitzpatrick, while the top 2 quarterbacks are Cameron Sutton and Levi Wallace. Cincinnati opens its defense of the AFC title when hosting Pittsburgh on Sunday. Quarterback Joe Burrow is listed as questionable as is wide receiver T. Higgins, but expect both to be starting on Sunday. Joe Mixon is the leading rusher for the Bengals, with the leading receiver being second-year star Ja'Marr Chase. Cincinnati's 4-3 defense will be led up front by defensive end Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson, while the 2 tackles are B.J. Hill and DJ Reader. Jermaine Pratt is the middle linebacker and will be flanked on each side by Akeem Davis-Gaither and Logan Wilson, who is listed as questionable. Safeties Von Bell and Jesse Bates III anchor the Bengals secondary, while Eli Apple, also questionable, and Chidobe are the top cover men for the Bengals. Pittsburgh is 7-3 at TS in its last 10 against the AFC, 4-1 at TS in its last 5 against the AFC North, 35-15-2 at TS in its last 52 as an underdog, and 16-5-2 at TS in its last 23 trips to Cincinnati. The Bengals are 10-21-1 in the last 32 meetings between the two teams. In a season-opening rivalry game between two teams who generally wage competitive head-to-head contests, I am not prepared to give more than 6 points. Take Pittsburgh plus the 6.5.